just set up the hawk scope, crossbow scope at 425 feet a second. You know, 0 at 20 and then 30, and it's supposed to be on all the way. This is the first shot at 50. I have no idea where it is, so let's go see if it worked. Inch and a half left, but the elevation's dead on. I'd say it works. I have no problem with that at all. I've seen a bunch of smoke. It's 20 some degrees. It's freaking cold. I've seen a bunch of steam coming out of her. So I feel like she didn't go far. It's 27 yards to where she was standing. I put there's piglets back there. I put the 30 or the 20 and the 30, I centered them in the middle of her lung and shot a touch high. There's the arrow. Yeah, not a lot of blood, but it was a little high. There's some bubbles. It's a good sign. Probably not gonna find a lot of blood. As high as it was, it's high lung. I'm pretty sure. And plus they scattered so fast and busted up in every direction I couldn't tell which one was which. I don't see no blood. Oh wait, here's a skid mark. Again, could be from any pig running, but they all went this direction. Oh, there she is right there. There's the pig. There's the stand. Oh, I'm at 35. Let's see, that tree's 40. She went another 45. So from where she's standing, she might have went 50 yards. I say she. May not be might have been a boar. I was just trying to make sure it wasn't the sow with the piglets. Yeah, that's her laying right there. Still no blood. Pretty good looking pig. Yeah. It's a hairy sucker. She ain't got no piglets. It was a touch high. Golly, what all? That's a thorn rift. Plenty of long. Just not a lot of blood because the shot was a touch high. It's all right, we'll take it. It's nasty. She's skinny. There ain't much feed around here right now. It's dry. And what little water we have has been frozen for the last few days. In fact, the turkeys came in earlier, drank out of that little mud hole. Nasty old water there. And I guess that's all they could find. It must have thawed out. It was a little spot in the sun, I guess. Well, there it is. That's another one with the air Saber. I have no idea how many that is now, but it's a lot. I just put that scope on. That's the hawk. 425 feet a second. 0 at 20 and then 30 and then you're dead on. I shot it out to 50, it was dead on. And then the thorn put a gaping hole. Look at this. They don't know where their mama went. Hey, where y'all going? Your mama's back there. I seen her run off. Go find her. Look out. Straight to the feeder. That's the only thing they know to do. They're only a couple weeks old. They haven't been venturing very far. They go to the feeder and they go back to bed. It's the only two things they know to do. When you don't have any friends like me and you forget stuff, you can make camera tripods. That little shelf right there, that thing set just like that to take the pictures. I mean, that's the best I can do with what I got. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna try to hurry, but I wanna kind of backtrack this blood trail. There's a bunch there. And it's just a little high. Got long hair. I thought there'd be a little more than that. That's actually coming out of her mouth. That's why it splattered right there. See that? That's coming out of her nose. So she coughed right there and then turned and fell right there. I thought she went through here, but there's a speck or two. But again, I think it's right before she fell over, she coughed it out of her mouth. Here's a little speck right here. But she was laying, that's only about 6 feet from where she was laying. I don't know the route she took. Blood's really, really, really hard to see on these leaves. Now here's some. I just missed it. Well, I seen her, that's why. Seen her laying dead. There's just not much blood, but it's kind of expected for a shot that high. I mean, that's about as high in the lung as you can get and still hit the lung. And I was angling down a little bit because I was in the stand, but not that much of an angle. I'm about 8 feet off the ground at 30 yards. Here's a speck right here. Right there. Yeah, she did. She left some blood. Very, very little until right at the end. That's when she got full. She got full and started coughing it up. And it's coming out of her nose. This blood right here is definitely coming out of her nose. See, it's just spray. It's splattered like there's some pressure behind it. See, that's not dripping. You look over here, this is drips of blood where it just ran down the hair and dripped. See, like this. That looks like that probably in her foot. Ran down her leg, she stepped right there and it come off of her foot. But it's just drips of blood. There's not any kind of splatter. When you come back here where she was laying, look at this, you see this? This is a spray that's under pressure. Her lungs are filling up, she's starting to cough it up. So that's a spray out of her nose. Ooh. Well, that wasn't fun. But I want to show you something. When I say that's high, it doesn't look that high, but look here. There's no body in here. This hair is sticking up when that pig's standing there eating. So when you look at that pig overall, it looks like it's in the middle of the body. But I'm going to show you. There's the hole. That right there is the spine. I got my finger on the spine right there. There's this much that, if you're just looking at the silhouette of this pig, this right here, if you say I'm gonna shoot in the middle, that's almost the middle of that silhouette. But that's high in the body. There's the elbow. It's 8 inches up from the elbow. This pig only weighs, I know it probably sounds like with my breathing it weighs 300, but it weighs about 70, 75 pounds. This right here is the very top of the lung. That right there, you probably can't see it, but trust me, I'm touching it. That is the spine. There's nothing here. It's hard to miss a pig or to not kill a pig that you hit low. If you hit it under him, obviously it's not going to work. But you can hit a pig all the way down here. His heart's sitting right at the very bottom behind that elbow. So, I mean, really, I could have hit 7 inches lower and still been in that pig. So it's always good, especially when you're bow hunting. New bow hunters, as soon as they see hair in that peep, they're squeezing off. Draw your bow and come up on a pig. So that way, you got from here to here, if you're coming up to miss. If you come down on a pig and you see that first, and you're just coming down a little bit, looking through that peep, maybe you can't see it all and you think, oh, I'm 3 or 4 inches down in it. No, you're not. You're about 1.5 inches down in it. I mean, that cut the bottom of the back strap right there. That shot, I mean, obviously it worked, but everything from here to here gives you a lot more room for error than from here to here. Look at this. I mean, these hairs are the width of my forefinger, the length of my forefinger is wide. That's 4.5 inches of what looks like the outline of the pig, the body. I probably can't see it much, but when these are sticking up, look at that. So stay here, stay middle down, not from the middle of the hair, but whenever you're aiming, you're better to come up to here. So here's what I'm talking about. See that? That is the spine right there. That's a ridge right there. That's the top of the spine. It comes down and then the ribs start. So you take that 2 inches, 3 inches, plus that hair, and you need to be shooting in the bottom third of the pig. So coming from the bottom up when you're aiming, especially with a bow, is a lot better than the top down, because you're not going to be as far down in that pig as you think you are. In fact, that broadhead right there clipped the bottom of the spine, and you can see right there, turned down. This is what I mean. So you got this, and then you got hair to about right there. So you got all this hair, and that's the top of the vertebrae, and then they come down. Ribs start right here. That's the top of the lung. That's as high in the lung as you can hit a pig and still kill it. If I'd have hit there, I'd have spined it. But that right there is, you can't go any higher than that. And look where it is. Look at all of that room you have down there.